Welcome to this week's episode of AFL Cairns TV. On this week's episode of AFL Cairns TV, we'll be focusing all of our attention on our AFL Cairns Juniors competition. On Monday night, the juniors had their presentation night, and on Sunday it'll be their grand final. So we'll get AFL Cairns Junior Coordinator Joel Child in to preview the AFL Cairns Junior Grand Finals and have a look back at who the winners were on their night of nights on presentation night. With this comprehensive wrap on juniors, we will post all of the round 16 scores and highlights in next week's episode of AFL Cairns TV. However, to end this week's episode, we'll take a look at who's lining up against each other in round 17 action of the senior competition. We welcome back to the show AFL Cairns Game Development Coordinator Joel Child to review junior presentation night and preview AFL Cairns Juniors Grand Final day on Sunday. Welcome, Joel.
Thank you, Sean.
Starting off with presentation night, it was the juniors' night of nights. How'd it go?
Yeah, it was really good. I think each club was represented well in regards to the attendance and the vote count as well. A great spread of players from all different clubs receiving different awards, and I think it's just a great night for recognition for volunteers and clubs.
We'll look at some of our award winners. Volunteer of the Year went to Jim and Marie Floyd from Pyramid Power. Massive contributors to footy, particularly in the Gordon Vale catchment area. Were they happy to receive the award?
Definitely. Look, Jim and Marie Floyd are notorious people around the AFL Cairns Junior League and have been for many years, and especially with Pyramid Power, I think that club would really struggle to function without those two, and the work they do behind the scenes is just absolutely astronomical. So well deserved on that part.
Yeah, thoroughly deserving winners there. Looking at our coaches of the year, who won our non-competitive coach and then our youth coach of the year?
So our non-competitive coach this year went to Shane Miller from Cairns City Lions. He currently coaches the under-9s out there, but Shane's everywhere of Sundays. No matter what needs to be done, Shane's always there, and she's a fantastic bloke, so well deserved. As for our competitive coach, that went to Campbell Addison from Cairns Hawks Gold under-13s. Coached their under-11s last year, did a fantastic job, and has done the same again with his under-13s with a great season.
Brilliant. And looking at our FNQ Youth Players of the Year, this year we couldn't decide on one individual. We went with two, from Cairns City Lions, Lachlan Smith, and from Pyramid Power, Danny Floyd. Their contribution to AFL Cairns, in particular the junior level, they're involved at youth girls, they're involved at grassroots level. For two 17-year-old young men, they're brilliant assets to our competition, aren't they?
Definitely. Look, you can even just have to look at the bloodline with Danny Floyd. Very evident, his mum and dad winning Volunteer of the Year, and it's no surprise that he's in the same category. Great kid, great football player, and good.
And looking at our best and fairest winners, in the under-13s Brisbane Lions competition, Alex Davies won the medal there from Cairns Hawks Brown. Was it a good count, and was it expected that he'd win?
Look, I think it's no hiding the fact that Alex is a very talented player in that age group. He's in the Gold Coast Suns Academy. He played Peninsula last year, which I coached. He's an outstanding athlete, both basketball, athletics and football, so no real surprise there.
And looking in the Gold Coast Suns division, I suppose it may have been a bit of a surprise. There's a very talented, and he was the runner-up from Cairns Saints, Austin Harris. Aussie, he got injured late playing state footy for Peninsula, so there was a surprise winner in Jake Reid from Port Douglas.
Yeah, definitely. Look, and that's not taking anything away from Jake. Jake's a very good player in his own right up there in Port Douglas, and sometimes we forget about him up there up the highway, but Austin, definitely a fantastic player, and I bet, if he did play those extra games, it would have been a lot closer, but full credit to Jake on his season.
Looking at the under-15 Howard Kennedy Senior Medal winner, it was a Centrals boy, Max Colpert, renowned for polling very well in best and fairest. He's won 2 under-12 best and fairest, and he ended up pipping Oliver Koch from Cairns City Lions by 1 vote in the under-15s.
Yeah, definitely. Max is, a very talented player, up-and-coming player in the academy. He's in our rep sides, and he's a standout footballer. He's got a massive future in front of him. And as for Oliver, very similar pathway. Great footballer, great kid, both well deserved.
Something that was very special on presentation night, for the first time we were able to introduce the youth girls competition. They had a best and fairest winner for the first time, and we were able to put forward their grand final sides that will play on Sunday. But from Cairns City Lions, Macy Ware, a young Indigenous girl, very exciting to watch. Was she happy with the award?
Yeah, definitely. They're always a bit shy when they get up in full of a stage full of people, but in their own right, they're fantastic girls. They do a great job of a Wednesday night, week in, week out, and Macy's a very special player out at Peace Lutheran.
And our premier competition, the Colts competition, we see the Reg Lillywhite medal for the best and fairest for the under 17.5 grade. grade. Last year, an Eagle won it from AFL Cape York, Nathaniel Tamoy. This year, Lewis Fjord won it. A small on-baller that wears a camouflage headgear so he stands out.
Does.
It was a good count. We had two boys that come runner-up in Joey Kura from the Eagles and then Angus O'Sulgray for Central's Trinity Beach. How was that count, and was it expected Lewis would win?
Look, I mean, Louis Fjord he's a standout player by every right, but not many people picked him. I guess he sort of flies under the radar a little bit, even though he does wear a helmet, but I guess that's in the mix of a very good side. But full credit to Louis, he's a fantastic player, very hard player, so yeah, well deserved.
Well, congratulations to all of our AFL Cairns Juniors winners on presentation night. We now look at grand final day. So on Monday we had our Knights of Nights with that, and then today, or on Sunday, it's going to be the biggest day of the year. How's it shaping, and what's the plan? What happens in the morning?
Look, I mean, it's a very big day for a junior football calendar, but of course it's reward for the players and the volunteers throughout the year to all come together and really celebrate junior football. We kick off at 8 a.m. with our Super Sixes and an under 8s game as well. Right through to 11:30 a.m. that'll be our non-competitive grades playing, just trying to squeeze them all in as it is quite a busy schedule. Then after that we get stuck into our competitive stuff.
So with the non-competitive grades, they all get to play a bit of footy, they come for a presentation, they all receive a medal?
Yes, that's right. I mean, again, it's just recognition for their year and the volunteers. So each kid after, each age group plays, they receive a medallion just to say thank you for the year. They get a photo of their parents and, they stick around and enjoy the day.
And I'm sure all the clubs will get behind grand final day. They often spray paint their kids' hair for their club colours. They run through banners and they've got streamers. So it's a colourful day in the morning. At 11:40, we've got the under 11s Sports Scene Shield match. That was formed, or the two teams come from a round robin. Who's playing in that one?
That'll be Cairns Saints and South Cairns. A really good concept we brought in this year with the round robin on preliminary finally day last year. The two teams competed in a round robin. There was actually 6 teams, and these two came through as a result to play on grand final.
And we look at our first lot of competitive grand finals, the Gold Coast Suns McDonald's under 13s game. That'll be played at 12:50. Who's competing in that one?
That'll be Cairns Saints versus Pyramid Power. Both sides, Finish had a fairly good end to the season. Anyone's game for me for this one. Great.
Looking at the other under 13s comp, the Brisbane Lions division, that's going to be played at 2:35. So as we extend into the day, that'll be between the Cairns Hawks Brown and South Cairns White. How do you see that game going?
Oh, look, I mean, there's no hiding the fact that Cairns Hawk Brown have had a fantastic season. They're undefeated, but everyone knows what finals are like. Strange things can happen, so South Whites will definitely take it up to them.
And at 4:20, we've got our Coffee Club under 15s grand final, and that'll be between AFL Cape York Eagles and the Cairns Hawks. Again, how do you see that one going?
Look, for me, Sean, this one's the game of the day. I mean, they've both come away with a win throughout the season. Both got very different sides, but very strong sides. So I think this one is literally 50-50.
And as we've said, our premier competition will be played at 5:55. That's our Colts competition, proudly sponsored by our friends over at Kazali's there. That'll be between the Eagles, so they're in another grand final, and Pyramid Power. It's fair to say to the viewers out there, there's going to be a lot of pace, excitement around the footy, and probably some unpredictability.
Oh, definitely. I mean, these sides, they both bring the same thing to the table, as you see, that speed, that athleticism. It's actually a fantastic game of football to watch. Makes you feel a bit old watching them, but look, I mean, a great game, and look, it's going to be one you're going to want to have to stick around.
And we spoke about it in regards to presentation night. For the first time, youth girls have actually got a competitive grand final happening. That'll be at 7:40 between the Menunda Hawks youth girls and Cairns City Lions. How do you see that one playing out in the night time?
Yeah, look, again, these two teams have been competing for that top spot all year. Credit to the other two teams in Souths and Pyramid Power. They've put it up to these two girls, but these two teams are very strong, got a great depth of players, and again, it'll come down to the day which way the wind's blowing in the last quarter, I think.
Well, thanks for joining us, Joel. For everyone out there, AFL Cairns Juniors Grand Final Day, Sunday the 23rd at Kazali Stadium. The non-competitive games kick off at 8 a.m. With all the competitive grades just starting after lunchtime. For more information about those games, you can visit our website at aflcairns.com.au. Thanks again, Joel.
No worries, Sean.
As we look ahead to round 17's matches, this is the second last home and away match for season 2015. The first game will see South Cairns travelling to Port Douglas to take on the table-topping Crocs in a match that shapes to be match of the round. It is 1v2 on the ladder, and both teams play hard contested brands of footy with plenty of run on the outside. Port are coming off their 10th straight victory, defeating Central's Trinity Beach by 11 goals. The round 16 win sealed the minor premiership for the Crocs as they now sit 3 games clear of second spot with 2 rounds remaining. Port Douglas last lost back in round 6 at Fretwell Park by 7 goals to the Cutters, a very distant memory to all of our viewers. South Cairns, on the other hand, are coming off a thrilling 2-point victory over Cairns Saints at Kazales in round 16. The round 16 win saw the Cutters go to outright second spot and leapfrog Cairns Saints on the ladder. The Cutters are definitely in good form at the moment, winning their past 4 matches. Of the 3 matches in 2015, Port Douglas have won 2 of them, round 1 by 28 points and round 11 by 17 points, whereas South Cairns claimed their round 6 encounter, Port Douglas' last loss. In the other match for round 17 this weekend, it'll be Cairns Saints hosting Cairns City Lions at Griffiths Park. As we just said before, the Cairns Saints are coming off a close 2-point loss to South Cairns in round 16. The loss saw them lose outright second spot, and they now sit in third with a 10-6 record for the season. They must also hope for, if there are any chance to come second on the ladder, that Port Douglas convincingly defeat South Cairns at the Croc Pit this weekend. Although finals are secured for the home side in Cairns Saints, it's a must-win game if they have aspirations of finishing in second spot. They've been able to convincingly defeat Central's Trinity Beach, North Cairns and Cairns City Lions in recent weeks, but they've definitely struggled against other premiership favourites in Port Douglas and South Cairns. For the Lions, they're coming off an impressive 102-point victory on the road against North Cairns. They had nearly 40 scoring shots in round 16, and they're coming up against one of the best defensive sides in the competition in Cairns Saints, and if they are any chance, they must come with that forward momentum and pressure. The Saints have won all 3 matches this year against the Lions in rounds 1, 6 and 11 by an average of 92 points, so they do have the wood over the Cairns City Lions. In rounds 6 and 11, the Saints have kicked a score over 150 points against the travelling side. With finals on their agenda, it will definitely be tough at Griffiths Park for the Lions to get a win. The final match of round 17 will see North Cairns travel out to the Northern Beaches to take on Central's Trinity Beach. North's only win in 2015 was against the Dogs in round 11 by 4 points when they defeated them at Watson's Oval. Look, the Central's Trinity Beach side have struggled since their round 9 win against South Cairns, only winning 1 from their last 7 matches. In a bid to find form and consistency as they approach finals, Centrals have got some big inclusions this week. Sam Conroy, Damien Rowe and Joe Child all come back into the Centrals lineup. In recent weeks, both sides have struggled to find the scoreboard, with Centrals averaging 11 goals and North Cairns only managing to kick 6 goals per match. For both sides, they have struggled defensively and they've been leaking big scores against oppositions. In the last month, they've both conceded over 100 points per match by the opposition sides. In 2015, Centrals have won 2 of the 3 matches, but let's not forget the round 11 4-point upset that were at the hands of North Cairns Tigers. A reminder that all start times this week are back to our usual schedules, 1 p.m. for reserves and 3 p.m. for seniors. For more information about the round 17 fixtures or the general competition for reserves and seniors, visit our website aflcairns.com.au. We look forward to seeing you at the footy this weekend.